Discoveries, discoveries, discoveries. Those are the things that I had the past 18 years on the Dragon's Path. New things to discover, new things to know, new things to grow on. I mean, there are many things actually that we should seek out ourselves, because the Dragon's Path that you are going in doesn't have an equal. Your path is unique and your dragon is unique. Everything that you do is unique. And here in my bedroom, for example, when everyone is away from me, here I do my most intense rituals and most intense discoveries. Intense discoveries, like, for example, that there are spirits, that spirits are real. I used to be an atheist, so I didn't believe in it. But once I had my awakening, and there was a lady who said, "You have a dragon by your side," and I had dreams about dragons. And I even had 5 months that I was gone from this earth, you can say. Whatever happened is still a mystery, but I swear I saw the dragon realms. For 5 months I was gone. All here in the next of my bed, you can say, in my homemade dragon altar. And also one of the discoveries that I did was, of course, gods are even real. But these gods don't demand worship, because these gods are dragon gods. I call them like this because they are, of course, their physical image is that of a dragon. Their children are those of dragons. It's very interesting as well to know who your dragon god is. That is a quest on your dragon's path, to know who the dragon god is. Not to worship, but to be together alongside with them. But I also discovered something else, and that was my greatest difficulty. And with this, I used, a sign. I was very skeptical with signs, but I figured out that the dragon's eye, the triangle that connects you with your dragons, has indeed worked that much, and I recommend you to use the dragon eye as well. But I also recognize you to use another sign, a sign that I also used, a sign actually that was responsible for knowing a new discovery, a new revelation. And that was the heptagram, my brothers and sisters. The 7-pointed stars, also called the elfin star. When all of the 7-pointed stars, it's a very complex, actually, star, much more complex than the pentagram, for example, because it has much more ends to look at. 7-pointed star, also called the elfin star, means because people who identify themselves as elves also could see this inside of this 7-pointed star, because this star means those who are not completely human, but who are different inside of their soul. Of course, that was what my mentor recommended, because she said there is something different within you. There is also something different, because I can see a dragon by your side. The dragons don't do that with simple human beings. Dragons are always there because they have a connection with you, with other dragons. And of course, that was something that I had a difficulty with. But she said, use the heptagram, use the elfin star. It made people see a lot inside of their spiritual journey. And of course, I was ready to go on this spiritual journey, but I just didn't want to use it yet. I wasn't convinced yet of what it could do. But later, after my encounter with other dragons and the dragon's eye and everything that happened to me, I said, now it's time to use the heptagram. The heptagram, my brothers and sisters, is a means to awaken you even more. It's, like I said, the symbol of the non-human soul. Even though I very highly believe that there is a human soul within all of us, but there is also another soul that connects you with your dragons. The reason why you love dragons so much is the reason why what you have inside of yourself. And that is a revelation of what the heptagram actually said to me. The heptagram can be used, for example, with blood rituals, or simply by putting this symbol in front of you and your dragon. And also you can use it like just the same thing, like underneath your bed or in the palm of your hand. Write it down at a safe place so that your dragon actually, this is not actually like the dragon eye. The dragon eye actually tries to connect you with your dragon, so likes to appear the dragon before you. So it actually introduces you with your dragon. This is not. This doesn't introduce you with your dragon. This introduces you with your own dragon spirit. And I had such a high difficulties for this because I felt that humans are unworthy, but that is just what the dragon said. You are not like everyone else. And that is what I'm trying to say to you, my brothers and sisters. If you use the elven star, you might understand that you are not like everyone else, that you are actually not belonging here. And this symbol reveals that. This symbol, of course, very highly demonized by Christianity and also taken over by Christianity by, I don't know, but they use it as well, but for complete different reasons. But they don't know the origins of it. Actually, a lot of people who call themselves otherkin also use this symbol very much. Some of them, or most of them, don't even know that actually using this is a type of witchcraft, a type of using magic that they don't even realize that they have. This is also very well because the dragon eye is really one and only for the dragon spirits. This is not. This is for a lot of spirits actually who don't see themselves or feel themselves as only just human, that there is something more within them and around them. For example, next week, and that is the reason why I decided to talk about this. Last week, I came across someone inside of my forest, and that was strange because most of the time my forest doesn't have people. And there was someone who was strolling by, and once we crossed each other, there was such an energy that I really rarely feel. I felt it before, but oh my goddess, it was intense. And we passed each other, we stopped at the same moment and looked at each other. We looked back at ourselves. Like, oh, that was a strange sensation. And the only thing that I could see in front of me, whenever I see this guy that was walking in my forest, I had an image of a wolf that was looking back at me, but not in a bad way. The wolf was like surprised, and whenever he looked at me, was like, oh wow, it was like this. This is also being used by people like this, and I came to understand that this as well was not completely a human soul. And the reason why we can feel something like this is because we don't have one as well. I mean, I believe that we have a human spirit, but also with them something else that has to be awakened, that merges. And I believe whatever I felt that moment was the feeling of a wolf spirit or something that people might don't understand. What, like I said, the elven star is also being called like this because people who call themselves elves also use this a lot, and that is the much well known why they used it. So yeah, that is the reason why a lot of people like ourselves use the seven-pointed star actually to discover themselves who they are. So I use this like my dragon eye in the palm of my hand, because in my experience, all of the energy that I try to have has to come in the palm of my hand. So I signed the heptagram in the palm of my hand, so just the same as I do with the dragon eye. And here I actually discovered that, within ourselves, there is a spirit that is not human at all. And that is something that you feel so well whenever you use the heptagram. And that is the entire point of the heptagram as well. Even though Christianity, just like everything that is pagan, they adopted it and make it a different meaning of it, of course, but the different meaning won't do anything, because the only meaning of the heptagram will be to discover your own personality. You might discover as well that this world or this life, or you might not feel home, you might not feel it here, you might not feel that you should be here, and that is why some people actually use this sign, this symbol, actually to know where their actual home is. And like I said, with the man that I just met, I didn't talk to him, but we just looked at each other and then walked away from each other. He was also home inside of the forest, and I could feel that. We can actually feel that. But we are actually, yeah, those who don't belong here in this world. And that is what we can feel very much inside of this heptagram or elven star, 7-pointed star, or whatever. It's very difficult actually to sign within your hands, especially with two hands, because I write with my right and not the left, so it's difficult to write. But whenever you use it, put your desire on home. Put your desire on the dragon realms, my brothers and sisters. Put your desire on that, because whenever I put this in the palm of my hand, all of the energy gathers actually in the palm of your hand, and you admit it, and you try to actually to point yourself wherever it is. And that is also why it's pointed in 7 directions. It wants to point in all of the directions, even more than the heptagram. The heptagram is more used like a compass. Where do I need to look? The dragon's eye is used to connect with your dragons and to know where your connection lies. The heptagram is simply to discover yourself, and that is something that we shouldn't forget on the dragon's path, the third dragon that lives within you. And whenever you use a symbol like this symbol, this ancient symbol, this symbol will help you to know who you really are.